Thanks for joining. Try to be brief. Today is Sabbath. I hope the Sabbath is good for you. Got the poster going on. People like that. I was reading the inside of this book as I was watching this video. Somebody sent me a video of this this person, and I was watching their videos, and I kind of got to this point. Wait. This building that just popped up. Very interesting stuff. That's here. That building right there. In the bottom, if you see above 906, it's an image of a building. It looks like a British style building. In these videos that this person, Tartaria, explained, part 1 through 3, actually I think there's 4 parts, shows this building here at the bottom, and he claims it is Solomon's temple. In part 1 or 2, he shows where the location of the building is, shows images of the building being sacked, destroyed. Makes comparisons with this building all over the United States, especially like Washington, D.C. We're going to be looking right here, the History of the American Indians by James Adair, right? I just looked this up on Amazon. This book is $16. Paperback $16.99. So this is very interesting. I want you to hear what the character says about this. Again, these people that make these videos about Tartaria, they're excluding the Bible. They're excluding the Bible on purpose, because what they're doing is they're trying to make these things bigger than what they really are. It's really hard to explain. From the people he brings up, John Levi, conspiracies are flat Earth British. I've already gone over all the times flat Earth British lie. He sees an author of a book draw himself into the book, and he goes, "Oh, this must be Columbus," and literally below it tells you the fucking person's name. And then he starts shifting the map because the name's clear and it's obvious it's not Columbus. And it's like Timothy DeBry. And then when you look up the DeBry guy, it says that nobody likes to use his resources because he draws every Indian as a Mediterranean white Spaniard. So this is why I don't necessarily listen to too much shit that comes out of these people's mouth. Especially John Levi, because John sounds the most reasonable. When you sit there and say everything that you're reading is described in Deuteronomy chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. These cities been built up by giants, and they were handed over to the Israelites as an inheritance. It's right there in Deuteronomy. I left a comment over a year ago. He must have looked at it, because he gives it a thumbs up, but never says anything openly in the videos. Now, if you're going to see that it connects to the Bible, why wouldn't you just broadcast it connects to the Bible? Hey, for a God they can't see. So I want you to hear what is said right here, and I want to read the table of contents with you.
Many Native American histories where their people had emerged from a cave. Why were they living in a cave? Now, this is some controversial information, but it's
You know why they were living to go into the clefts of the rock during the times of the earthquakes, right?
based on the book History of the American Indian by James Adair. The whole purpose of this book is to attempt to prove that the Native Americans are descendants of the ancient Jews.
Now, that means James Adair is a fucking colonist. He's a writer. He comes here and he says, hey, there's Indians here. But as I see the Indians, they follow the culture of the Hebrew. Now, you do not hear this person saying, there are 12 different Indian groups. Which one are which? No. You see what they're saying? They're saying one group is here. We're going to analyze that group. So where the fuck do you come off with 500 nations or 5,000 nations? Where do you come up with all these Indian groups saying, oh, they've been living here forever and stuff? Well, why do you have these Moors living in the 13 colonies saying they're indigenous here, but you have the record of their arrival? Why do you have Moors saying they're indigenous here, but a queen from fucking a whole nother country comes here and says, if my Moors get in trouble, don't treat them like the Indian? Why you got Canaanites in groups with Moors saying that they're Aboriginal? James Adair didn't come here and write about them. You see what I'm saying? You know what they're trying to do. They're trying to take your title. My grandpappy came here, made deals with your grandpappy, and then a military came and hid the information of the negotiation. You understand what's going on? British made deals with the Indian. British set up land on Indian land through negotiation, through contract. You look like me. You look like me. Let us live here. You can live here. Let's see what this says. Let's just look around. Let's see. Their division into tribes. Look at that. Argument one. Their arguments, God damn it. Argument one, how they are divided into tribes. Woo! All right. Argument two, their worship of Jehovah. Now, would you look at that? Adair came over and he dared to have a name for God, and he claimed that they worship what is called Jehovah. Is that why we have Jehovah's Witnesses today? Because somebody fell in love with James Adair's book? Did the Jehovah Witnesses forget they call themselves Jehovah Witnesses because of James Adair's book? Their nations and theocracy. Now wait a second. I'll be damned. I'll be motherfucker. Not only are they separate bloodlines, all from the same whole, right? The 12 tribes, they're separate. And then they divided themselves into different nations. Not only are they of different tribes, they said we are now different nations. You be you and we'll be us. Ain't that what we see in the Bible? When they have a temple of Jerusalem and they make a secondary temple and they put a secondary God because they don't want to walk their ass over to the first temple every year, because it takes so long to get there. Let's go back to the table of contents. Table of contents. All right. Notions of theocracy. Right? Their belief in the administration of their belief in the administration of angels. I mean, that's this. There's a lot of self-explanation within that statement, right? How do angels help us? Right? Their language and dialects. Oh, look at where it's the fifth argument. It's right. Their belief in angels is more important than their fucking language. Their manner of counting time. these are just dumb Indians. All they know how to do is plant seed in the ground and plant seed in women, and they know and survive the animal and survive the elements. And oh, they have a clock. Oh, yeah, they have religious laws. Oh, they have all kinds of shit that we're not taking into consideration because we're here to overthrow them and oppress them. Mm. Manner of counting time, they're prophets and high priests. Wait a second, I thought these were just dumb Indians. What you mean they got high priests? They got high priests, they got high temples. Okay? You don't have prophets and prophecies without temples. So where are the temples at? Huh? These supposed to be just Indians just living out in the grasses, living in tents. Like they ain't gonna tell you why we got mansions, why we got all these big fantastic buildings. They just gonna keep pretending that we just lived inside of rugs, animal rugs. We took this animal skin, we turned it into a rug. Do you realize like half the fucking animals that trappers hunted for were abominations? So the Israelites would not have had bearskin rugs any goddamn where because a bear has paws. And you can't touch anything with a fucking paw, whether it's alive or dead. That means no dog, no cat, no fox, no gerbil, no hamster. So they would have been very keen about the law. I hope you understand this. This is why I expressed my situation of us separating from little kitty cats. I've talked to mom. Mom, how do you feel about having a pet sheep? Now we're moving in the right direction, right? Okay, so their festivals, their salts, and their religious, right? Is that salts? Let's say, oh, fasts, excuse me. So they have festivals and they have fasting. So even just fucking less than 10 arguments in, we've already reached the same things that the regular Bible people are talked about doing. Hmm? Fasting and all these other elements that's talked about. So here it says their daily sacrifice. So look at that. The Indians had a daily sacrifice. Their ablations and anointings. Whoa! So, just like the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the Indians were running off into the wilderness and anointing themselves and making daily sacrifices and listening to their prophets and their high priests. So, this is very interesting. Now, which 500 nation of Indians was this? Hmm? Yeah, no. No, that shit ain't gonna fly, right? Um, their absence of unclean things, right? Their laws of uncleanliness. Now think about that. Woman just had a baby and they had a hut out back and she had to go there because of the blood. Now, is that the kinds of things that James Adair would have wrote about in this book? Hey, it's $16.99 right now on Amazon. I mean, I'm not saying Amazon is the only place to buy books. I'm just saying, like, most of you shop off Amazon anyway, right? So, it says their marriages, their divorces, and punishment for adultery. What the So, not only did the Indians marry, so look at the dumb niggas today. I ain't getting married, nigga. I just need a hoe. I just need a living hoe, right? This is the mentality of the Indian today, right? From the fall from grace, he used to hold all the land himself. Now away with his customs, away with his rights. And Good job teaching him to be a barbarian. And these dumb niggas today say, I fucked the girl, so she my wife now. Right? And then they grab a stick, they throw it over their back and say, bitch, cook me a brontosaurus burger, and have no idea that they are now the barbarian. Look at the fall from grace. Marriage is divorce punishment for adultery. So the Indians got to a point where they said, we're not going to stone each other. We're not going to kill each other for adultery. We're going to punish each other. We're going to create a legal system that if you cheat on your wife, you're going to be punished. Did you know anything about this? No. But you know what Beyonce's new song is, right? You know the latest shit they saying on Kanye West, right? You know the last thing that Dane Calloway told you without showing you on screen. You just filled out paperwork saying that you're black, and you wrote your address next to it, saying you don't exist, but you domicile. The issue say he gonna take the vehicle from you. He gonna take the chariot from you. And you go out every fucking weekend to party. You know what he said? He said, I'm gonna take this law from you. You're gonna want it so bad. Don't all the Gentiles hold this book? Don't niggas that hold this book, don't you call them a Gentile? Got the same shit you got. You're sitting there calling them, you're not us. Don't you go to the barbershop and cut your hair? Make sure your hair is bald. Where's the bald images of history? All this fantastic hair on coins, and you go and I want a clean fade so I can wear a fucking hat. You uphold any of these customs today? Wasn't this taken from you? Wasn't this spiritually taken from you by something you can't see, you can only hear? Didn't he strip you of this? Didn't he steal it from you? Don't you hear? The word has been taken from the land. They express this book any way they want to without actually reading from this book. They'll open up a verse, they will read the verse to you, and the meaning of the verse will not come out. Did you forget this exists today? Because you can see the book, do you think the book has not been taken from you? What rights do you fucking have today? Well, I have U.S. citizen rights. You don't got no goddamn Hebrew rights. You ain't got no Israelite rights. You ain't got no Jacobite rights. You ain't shit. You was a king in the jungle, and you was a fucking dog in the city, and you working your ass off to stay in the goddamn city. Dog? Homeboy? Homeborn slave. You're not willing to change nothing. You don't want shit to change. Why not? Because you're not willing to meditate. You know shit's wrong. You know shit's wrong with you. You ain't willing to fight yourself. Your dick get hard, you go run to hide somewhere so you can jerk it. You never sit there and fight yourself and say, that ain't me. You never respect the purity of your own goddamn sperm. Always looking to fucking fight somebody to take some shit like a goddamn pirate. Ain't never looking to earn nothing. Now look at all these punk motherfuckers. We's American Indians, but don't none of them know nothing about the goddamn American Indian. None of them know nothing about the Bible. If this motherfucker get off the boat, see all these Indians and say, oh, wow, how they act just like the people of the Bible, then why don't you hear that today? How many authors made their careers saying, oh my, these are the Israelites, and then sold their books in the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1800s. Your dumbass in the 1900s chasing fucking men dressed as women. That giant grizzled bitch sure looks good. The fuck? You're doing this to your motherfucking self. Always remember that when you're staring at the mirror. Now, what else could be here? There are several punishments, a law system, right? There's cities of refuge. Refuge cities today? There are purifications and ceremonies preparatory to war. So there were people on the land that they warred with. Who else why would they have preparation for war? Their ornaments. Their manner of curing the sick. Their burial of the dead. Their mourning for their dead. That is called lamentations. Wait, come on, man. If you ain't reading this book, you don't understand a fucking thing I'm saying. The raising seed to their deceased brother. God damn it, it ain't gonna be no clearer than this. We just stumbled on to raise up the seed of your brother. And now it's time to discuss raising up the seed of your brother. Why you don't spill seed, especially when you do not have a fucking child. Their choice of names adopted to their circumstances and the times. Why did they choose a name that was not Israel? Their own traditions, the accounts of our English writers, again, these were English men. These were the sons of Britain. It is not the English. And the testimonies which the Spanish and other authors have given concerning the primitive inhabitants of Peru and Mexico. This is the latest bit of information that is old that shows you that the people of Peru and the people of Mexico were the Israelites and were overthrown by the Africans that call themselves Spanish. When Joe Rogan or any other white man does DNA and he says, I have Neanderthal, when the Mexicans do their DNA and they find out that they have a high percentage of Neanderthal, when the Arabs come out of nowhere 2 weeks ago and say, we have Neanderthal DNA, they are all out of Africa because the Neanderthal is married, biologically married to the out of Africa theory. Biologically married. Then it is no theory. We live in the age of DNA tests, paternity tests, and everybody that's done a DNA test and said that, yeah, I'm a Neanderthal, they've discovered that they came out and went like a beacon to the Neander Valley of Central Europe, which they like to call Germany. The Neanderthal, Neander Valley. So the Neander Valley is where these things would have ruled from. You can't make all of North Africa come out of North Africa, go into one valley, single file line up, and take a DNA sample. You can't do that. No, you would have to have one group fighting another group and lose. Loser gets. So, here you have it. Now, this book's available to you. It is always your decision what you're investing your time, your money, or anything else. History of the American Indians, James Adair, 1699. Good luck, people.